So this is the beginning of a new season where I'll make a bot that protects villages. Welcome to Cut Transform Glue. But let's begin by taking a good look at this weird shape right here and tell me, what do you see? Well, of course there's an obvious choice right here, and that may require some sacrifices. But jokes aside, when I saw this piece right here, I couldn't help but see a torso for a humanoid bot. Now from that I jumped straight into the hot glue layouting that I've been doing lately for all my projects, and this is when I'll grab some other shapes and pieces that I have in my collection to try to figure out the overall size, geometry and details of the build. I mean, when I saw the Gribbly, the initial shape, I knew this was going to be a humanoid bot, but I still had to figure out the overall sizes of the limbs and the connection points, and this is where I landed. Okay, so I just took the legs and the arms apart, but I kept the torso like this just so I could explain you guys my ideas for this project. So as you can see right here, I have this big shape for the torso and the Samsung charger for the head, and as you can see they work very well together. The shape is pretty much resolved. I don't need to add too much to it. Of course I'll do some changes here and there. I have a couple of ideas that I want to try, but yeah, the shape of the torso and the head is perfect. And I actually found this giant Gribbly right here which fits perfectly on the back of the torso. It looks amazing. It kind of goes with the curves of the torso, so I'm definitely going to use this one right here. But my challenge for this week is to create the attachment point for the head, for both arms, and of course the waist of the robot. The first thing I decided to do in this build was to work actually on the shoulders. As you can see right here, the torso shape had like 3 weird holes on the sides, and instead of just covering the holes, I felt it could be like an opportunity. Okay, so this is the result. A single slot going all across the torso. And now I can make a piece that goes right here that gives the idea that the shoulder moves back and forth like this. Now from that I took some measurements as always from the slot that I've created, and it took me like a couple of tries, but I reached this shape right here going all across the slot. I reinforced the CA glue with some hot glue from the inside, and yeah, the shoulder connection point was finished. And then I tackled the neck of the robot. I didn't want the head to be sitting on a flat surface. So I made this very good looking ball joint piece right here, marked the center of the top of the torso, and drilled it in my drill press. I then of course cleaned the hole that I just made, and I glued the 3D printed piece with the socket, but this time using this weld bone type of glue. But I needed a flat spot on the ball, so I kinda eyeballed how tall I needed the neck to be and made a flat spot on my mini disc center. The plastic sphere was hollow and its walls quite thin, so I had to close it with a piece of acrylic, and then I glued it on the bottom of the head with some CA glue. The Samsung charger also had to be glued as I removed its inside previously. But then I had this idea of adding this one eye to the head to make it look kind of mysterious, so I had to open a round gap right here in the front to attach this piece, and this is what I did next with my Dremel tool. And I also added some ball joints on the waist of the robot. Now of course these are not real ball joints as I tried making in the past. I just want to give the viewer the impression that this is how the robot moves around, with some big ball joints. As always, I'm trying my best right here to make the model believable. There was this hole on the plastic ball which I used to create an indexing pin that attaches to a ball socket. This will be very useful when I'm doing like the final assembling after the paint job. I then close the bottom of the shape I chose for the waist with some pieces of acrylic, CA glue and baking soda. And then I glued the socket in place, trying my best to keep everything as aligned as possible. When you're combining different shapes and types of pieces like gribblies, laser cut acrylic and 3D printed parts, keeping everything aligned can be kinda challenging. Okay, so I was thinking of gluing this piece right here on the back of the torso, but once I do that, I won't be able to open this anymore, so I kind of want to keep it separated from the torso. So yeah, I'm gonna close the back right here with a piece of styrene probably, and then I'll try to make an attachment point for it right here, probably using some pieces of fake Lego. The first thing I did on that black ribby was to remove that extra tab right there that I really didn't need, simply by marking the cut with a snap knife and breaking it with a pair of pliers. Now my idea was to cover the back with a piece of styrene, but I had in my collection a precisely matching circle of acrylic. I sanded off the extra portion of the acrylic circle and began adding some extra cool looking gribblies on the top of it. And then right there in the middle, using some CA glue, I attached this round Lego piece. Now when I decided to put the flat spot on the black gribbly to the side of the robot, I began thinking it could be like an extra battery pack, like for the tools that the bot would be using. So yeah, I decided to create a slot on the flat spot and add this cool looking gribbly right here, which kind of looks like a connector. Then of course I had to remove the feature from the back of the torso. And then I took some measurements from the flat spot on the back and made a matching piece on my 3D printer. Okay, so change of plans. I printed the piece. It is this piece right here with the Lego piece right in the middle of it. And I was thinking of gluing this piece just to the top segment of the torso. This is not going to work. Yeah, I'm gonna have to glue the whole torso together, which I just told you guys I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. It's the only, I mean, yeah, it's okay. But the attachment point is very secure, very reliable. As you can see right here, I just gotta press this piece right here and it stays in place. And I like this tiny gap in between the torso and this piece right here. And from that I moved to the shoulders. As you can see, this lovely black disc is what I chose for the shoulders, and then I began gluing some things on the top of it, actually on the inside of it. This acrylic disc matches perfectly the diameter of the black gribbly, and on top of it goes this cool looking shape from a dead DVD player. And then on the outside goes a 3D printed piece that creates a cool angle for the arms. Of course I made two of those, and as you can see, one is much more good looking than the other, and it kinda tells which one I made first. And then I threw a good coat of primer on all pieces. The next challenge for this project is to make the limbs, the arms and the legs, but that, my friends, is for the next episode. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, because that helps a lot, and as always, thanks for watching.